All right. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I could not get to sleep. I was just tossing and turning because I was just, I don't know, my mind started to feel things, of course, as you do when you're about to go to sleep, when you haven't slept very well. Let me not ramble too much about that, but I haven't been sleeping well, mainly because my daughter keeps sleeping in our bed. So there's that. But uh, tonight, uh, I'm kind of taking I guess it's kind of related. So I'm taking a weed break, I guess, because being trapped at home, I just been smoking too much. So I've just decided to take a break, and now my mind is clearing up. Of course, I'm just thinking, and you know, and I was, this is just the process. I was just laying there, and my mind, I don't know, I was just thinking about stuff. I was just trying to calm my mind to sleep, and I just couldn't help but just think about how annoyed how I am about everything. And like usually, like when I can't go to sleep, I just smoke a little bowl, and I can get to sleep. But since I'm deciding to feel my emotions all the way instead, it's I don't know, it's making me think a lot about how I have been feeling for a long time, and just the feelings that just haven't been expressed properly. I recently spoke to an astrologer, and or I had my chart done, and of course, it was very accurate. But one thing that came up that uh, was my anger. And most people probably wouldn't call me an angry person, I'm sure. Uh, at least, at least no one's ever really seen my real bad side. Um, but I just started thinking about how angry I really am about a lot of things, and like I've always been. Uh, it's just it's this is an awakening moment because recently I've been getting these messages about like healing your inner child, and then also about healing the old wounds and feeling our emotions out fully, and you know and it's going to be retrograde season for like the next 4 months. So a lot of re-going over a lot of old emotions is a thing. um and all the returning thoughts and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not like I didn't know they were there. I just been ignoring it because I just had no way of resolving the anger. Honestly, that's how I feel. It's like I don't know. Like I feel like I've been angry for so long. Like I don't even know what to do with the anger anymore. I was watching a video earlier about healing from our past because our bodies are not the same bodies from when, or at least depending on when your trauma occurred to you. We don't It's not the same body anymore if it's been more than 7 years, right? So it's just like it's like it's this the feeling is still in my spirit though. My body still remembers it. My old cells still have the memories of it. And when if you're aware about how trauma affects your body, it keeps you in a constant state of anxiety or fight or flight, whatever, like that. And like I couldn't understand, not that I couldn't understand it, but it's like I don't know how to recognize it in myself because I feel like I've always felt the same way for a long time. But it's like I just, I never addressed it fully, and I never had anyone to really fully help me digest it as well. Um, but I don't even know. I mean, I guess they say you forgive people, whatever, but forgiveness can only go so far, and you can only. I mean, it's like you forgive someone one time, and then it's like okay, but can't be serious. But forgiveness, I mean, it's a step that helps ease the flame, I suppose. But the feeling is still within the body. But I think for me, I just have a lot of anger built up in general for a lot of people and a lot of things that's happened, and like I never considered myself someone who holds a grudge, but like it feels like a part of me is still holding grudges, and I guess whatever's the part of our consciousness that's keeping count of all this stuff, I guess. But it's like this anger that's inside of me, this dragon that's literally inside of me. Honestly, I feel like I've always called it something like I don't know, like I always refer to it as a demon because I feel like that was put in. I feel like a demon was just put into me without my consent. That's the main thing. And now I have this demon dragon inside of me that I don't know how to quell it, or rather I'm trying to figure out this uh, I don't know, nine tail fox evolution of channeling this energy into something better. Because that's what it really feels like. And I just don't know what to do about this anger I have, because like I was lying in bed, and this has been happening for a few days actually. I've been having tears come in my eyes, and like I'm not depressed feeling, I guess. Not particular. I mean, I kind of am going. I'm going through a whole crisis. I sort of a mini, not mini, definitely a major identity crisis, because the Saturn return. But I just been trying to figure out what to do with these feelings that I have, like all these feelings I have, the love, the anger, the sadness, the happiness. And it's like, do I even have real happiness right now as well? That's something I question. Because it's like, am I just trying to make things better than what they seem just to quell my anger, or to make it, like I don't know, like, can I trust my own feelings about it? Because I've been I've been spiraling a little bit about it because I've been thinking about it so much recently, especially because of recent times, I guess. And everybody else's anxieties is sort of getting to me a little bit, is making me more uh, mindful about it, I guess. Like everybody's going through their own personal thing right now, being at home. And I'm always at home. And my thing is always getting out of the house as well. That's kind of been my thing. So I just going over these feelings of the past. And it's like people have these, and it's like there's no way to like really heal it easily. You just can't heal it by saying, you can't just say, I mean, it's so easy to say, oh, the past is the past and the future doesn't exist yet. But it's like, it's not, we don't exist on a timeline where the past and the future are going to have happened and are happening at the time. And it just, you can't avoid that. You can't ignore that because it it takes away from the healing process, I feel, because it's like, if I only think in the moment now, right now, I feel very confused and angry and a whole lot of things. But if I know that I'm going to get better in the future, it does give me hope. And that does keep me, that's actually like my only clarity in life right now, is that the fact that the future does exist and I can actually do something to, change my future or affect my future rather. But the whole the issue just lies in resolving the anger in me. And I don't and that anger, it comes from a lot of places. It's very deep. I've done a lot of things out of anger that I'm angry at myself for too. So it's like it's a whole personal hell I'm kind of in actually. Oh man, because it's like I feel like I just never had the chance to really be myself, and that's why I'm going through this identity crisis right now. And I'm angry at like everyone around me for not, you know, helping me become a better person, I suppose. Like I'm angry. I'm just I'm angry at like the fact, you know. I mean, I might as well just be honest. I'm angry that my dad left. Doy, everyone is, or anyone would be, I suppose. You know, I'm angry that when my dad left, it left me vulnerable and and people abused me and mistreated me, neglected me, and I'm angry about that because I don't know how to resolve that feeling. I don't want to go to, you know, I really, like someone was saying this earlier, I don't want to, spend my second half of my life trying to resolve the first half. And like right now, what I want to do in my life is actually get on with my life. I don't, I really don't want to go to like talk about whatever in therapy, I guess. I don't know, I suppose. I mean, yeah, I do, but it's not like I want to do that for 10 years either. And like, I'm angry at my mom, because she was the one taking care of me, and like she didn't have to be so cruel to me, that's for sure. That's just a fact. And like I'm trying to repair this relationship I have, like this terrible relationship I have with both of my parents, because I feel like it will have a hand in healing this wound I have, in healing all this anger that I have and resolving it. I mean, but still, right now in the moment, I mean, it's still a lot of anger is inside of me from that. I'm angry, you know, at my brother and sister too a little bit, because I think I'm angry all in general because I just haven't felt protected by the humans around me, and the only, I mean, of course, like the only faith you're supposed to have is in God, because you can't rely on freaking humans, obviously. Uh, like I definitely feel like if I didn't like start going back to my, I don't know, I feel like if I didn't have my spirituality in the first place, I would not have made it this far. That's for sure. And like literally, it's my faith in God that's really keeping me going in anything. Because my faith is the only thing is the only thing I'm sure about. It's the only thing that does quell my anger. It's the only thing that does keep me from being depressed and does bring me joy, because it's like, as long as I remember the higher purpose that I'm here for, all this other crap that's happened to me, you know, not that I'd be worth it. I really rather it didn't happen, but I do understand my purpose on this earth, and I had to go through horrible things so I could help other people, or I could help the world through whatever I learned in this life. And I think that's so powerful. I'm so happy I had the ability to do that. And yeah, that does make me happy. I'm just angry at like just not being appreciated for my, you know, for just being me, I guess. Like I'm angry at like the world in a way. I'm angry at a lot of people. Um, you know, I mean, how can you not be angry at like the state of society at the moment, and you know, and how that spiraled down into affecting my own personal like our own parental situations as well. Like who knows if America was less racist 50 years ago, my dad could have, become a more stable and put together man, and my mom could have, you know, actually, you know, I don't know, whatever. Anything could happen. Something better could have happened. Who knows? Things had to happen this way for this reason. Just whatever. But it's hard to disconnect. I mean, it's ego, of course, that's angry, but it's not easy to disconnect that this earthly anger that I have and my divinity that keeps me sane. Um, like I feel like there's so much in the world. So much in the world makes me angry because it feels like there's so many simple solutions out here that are very doable given the resources that we have, the connections that we have with other people on this earth, and the ability to connect with other people on this earth. Like, I was watching a video a little bit ago about from this psychologist lady, therapist lady, and she was talking about how she feels so uncertain about everything right now. And I think that's the problem when you only live in the present moment, and you just think about the little trivial earthly things that go on, and then when something major happens like this pandemic, your whole world starts to collapse because you've never actually dug down deep into yourself. Luckily, I have been doing the work, so it doesn't feel so bad to be trapped in the house. It does suck, obviously, but I've I've definitely have a long enough. I definitely have built up a fortress strong enough to withstand even the worst winters. Um, but it's hard to get out of the fortress as well once you're so used to being locked up in it. And I spent a long time in my life like not even like sort of being just within myself, and then not even I've never even explored myself truly in a way. And I always feel like I've always been identified by other people. Like if someone asked me if I had to describe myself based on my own observations, like I don't know what I would say. That I'm just a chill person, I guess. I mean, most people will say that too. But I don't know. That probably gets into a whole spiral about, am I what I think I am, or am I what my peers think I am that has imprinted on me, or that line of thinking. But I'm not gonna do that because that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just thinking about how I'm actually gonna like start getting some sleep again in my life, honestly, because I haven't got good sleep in a while, not in the last couple weeks. And with it, and it's combining. It's like these two storms are meeting right now. um, mentally, where my identity crisis is coming in, and my in like my emotional crisis of the present life is coming in, is stirring together all these feelings that I don't know what to do with, and it makes me want to scream, honestly. But I've just always been the type of person to hold. I Ever since I was a kid, I've always held it in, and I think part of that is because I felt like no one really cared about what I had to say or how I expressed myself anyway. Yeah, I have, because, you know, I was kind of neglected as a kid. So I just never, I just haven't built up a, 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 a sort of internal system of expressing myself effectively, or talking to others openly about like what really goes on in my heart. And I wish it was, I mean, I'm getting better at it, but it's hard because I feel like no one, I feel like, I don't know, maybe my husband does genuinely care, but at the same time, it's hard for me to even, uh, I don't know, latch onto the idea properly, because at this, because my sad child ego, angry child, depressed ego child, is like, you know, he's just here to take advantage of you too, like everybody else, and every time I feel a little neglected, that voice gets a little louder, and then I start to get more childish in my acting, and now all this has been exploding around me, and like it's like I'm trying to still, it's like I'm trying to, be an adult at the same time I'm still trying to, be a kid, whatever. And I understand I'm trying to integrate a lot of energies anyways, but I just am so exhausted of doing all this work, honestly. Like, I really, I genuinely want to take a break. And I genuinely just want to get away from the whole family and everyone, and go live in the woods for a while. But if I could do that, I would. If I honestly, like, my favorite dream to have is, I dream about being in like Nova Scotia, in like I dream about a summery winter where it's like snow on the ground, and then the sun is shining. Like, I don't know, that seems, and it's by like an ocean or something. I don't know, like a snowy beach. I don't know why I keep dreaming of that, but that is something I dream of a lot, and it just seems so serenely peaceful and away from everything. But I guess in the real world, that would be running away from your problems, and I can't really do that, I suppose. Um, I mean, I could, but it would be unethical. But then, would it be unethical, or would it be me being an empowered female? Abandoning my family makes me an empowered female, even though my family is really where my power comes from. Even though I do have a lot of self power, of course, but I wouldn't feel good about leaving my family, that's for sure. Maybe not at first. uh, I don't know, but I guess it's also like fear a little bit. Um, Fear of leaving, and like fear of being alone. But they say, I mean, family's always there. That I'm ever gonna really be alone. My family doesn't leave me alone. That's for sure. So I don't think I ever will be. I don't know if I want to be, or I mean, I feel like I do, but don't. I'm an Aquarius, so it's like I like people, but from a distance in a way. Like, uh, like, I don't know. Like, I could be a doctor, sure, but I think I would probably be more of a research doctor. I'd probably be more like Pinker instead of Peterson. I don't work more in experiments and stuff. Who knows? But that's not what we're getting at. I'm not. I've been rambling anyway. Who cares? And I want to. I just have been trying to understand myself, and it's funny I say that after St. Peterson, and I haven't taken that little test yet. Uh, but it's like it feels like there's a nagging, not a nagging, but it kind of is. But it's this nagging sensation of this inner dragon that wants to like burn everything to the ground, honestly, and like you know, like I think the the dragon also wants to be like a super villain, but I think I think I would be okay with being like the super villain because if the people who are in charge now are the good guys, I would rather be the villain, you know. So there's that part. I don't know. I'm very neutral though. I think I would consider myself true neutral or chaotic neutral. I think so. But it just comes from that feeling though of just like I'm too angry to take a side on anything anyways. Like why would I want to? Because both sides are still stupid no matter what, you know? Both sides of everything are stupid no matter what. And the only thing we can do is get less stupid about it. And stop being dumb. And I feel like it also makes me angry too, all these sensitive people who it feels like I can't like if you can't I mean, this is obviously the free speech idea. It's like if you're not even able to think freely, you can't even come up with good ideas, even the quote bad ones. Or I guess there are bad ones, but these overly sensitive people call everything that touches their triggers bad. So that's what I'm getting at. Like earlier, not earlier. There's a post a couple days ago from this uh astrologer woman, someone called Hood Healer, I guess, some other spiritual chick, and so people were getting upset that what she said, but it's like what she was saying was you have to do the work to heal yourself. You can't just hide behind titles of all kinds. It's like because it related directly to me, honestly, because it's like with this identity thing and like this transformation part, this transformative part in my life, and like I can't hide behind a label of like I'm a queer black woman, woohoo, or I'm a wife, mother, whatever, people don't care about. I mean, it's like people don't even care about your titles in reality, you know, but they want you to have a title. It's so stupid, honestly. Like all these titles are so dumb. Like I don't even call myself like I call myself a shaman just because of the descriptor, you know, like I don't even have a name for myself. I have the name my father gave me, and everything else is, something I don't know, just picked up along the way. The only name I really fully feel like aligned with now is my current YouTube name would be Athena, because I think that really actually that speaks on a deeper level about something else. Particularly the Black Athena theory that Terence McKenna poised. But I don't know, what do people do with their anger? Like, I mean, my astrology advice is for me. That was for me was to, or it's for a lot of people as well, but to work out and do exercises and keep a routine and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like kind of over it a little bit. I just need a break, honestly. That's why I'm just feeling angry, because I just haven't had like, I'm pretty sure if I got like 3 nights in a row of sleep, I'd probably feel a whole lot better. And we'll see. I'll give you an update when that happens in like a year. But I do want to like work on this. I mean, I am working on this feeling, and I am working on myself, and I'm trying to figure out who I am, and not only figure out not that I don't know who I am, but be comfortable of who I am. That's what it is, and I want people to be comfortable with who I am, and I have to not get angry about it either, or not allow my anger to like rise when uh, people are disagreeing with me, I guess, because I'm a very disagreeable person. So, I mean, I'm okay with people having different, you know, disagreeing with me if it's reasonable. But, you know, I'm not going to have someone disagree with me about who I really am at this point, honestly. And I mean that, you know, like, everyone's been trying to tell me who I am or give me, like, I don't know, advice about who I should be. I mean, I ask for it sometimes. No, I don't think I asked for it. One time I even asked for advice about who I should be. I don't remember. People just ask me who I want to be, whatever, and I, you know, give them an idea of something I've been thinking about, you know, and that has changed a lot. You know, the only thing that's really just maintained the same throughout my whole life, I feel, if I can pull these threads together, the only threads that actually stretch all the way throughout my whole existence so far is that I've always wanted to be a doctor. I've always had an interest in Jungian psychology. I've always had a deep connection to the spirit, spirituality, the occult, the secret stuff, all that secret knowledge, you know, which I do actually have secret knowledge inside of me that I'm not gonna share, and not with the plebes, and like um and I've always wanted to make the world a better place. Those are things that have always been true for me. And I'm trying to you know, it's like people have been, you know, what's the word? Like putting their patches on my tapestry, you know? And now it's time to like take all this bullshit off. You know, all these labels and all these, you know, images of me, and I don't know, like it's so confusing in this day and age because it's like I'm trying to know who I am while also never knowing who I ever was in a real sense, because I don't know, you know, like you are supposed to be uh when you're socialized, it's how you get to know who you are, right? If you know who you are and you reflect out into someone else and they acknowledge that, then you know, then you're in sync, I guess. Like if I'm a doctor, someone else recognizes I'm a doctor, then okay, yeah, my identity as a doctor is secured, I suppose, hypothetically speaking. But you know, if I think of myself as a doctor and someone else just thinks of me as, I don't know, some young, young, like, I don't know, like some cute girl. I don't know what people think of me. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to also be restricted to only my looks. You know, I mean, I don't know how good I look, but I don't know. I guess I'm pretty cute, but that's not really been something that's identified me growing up. So that's what's one of those strings that were missing from, you know, that go throughout. And it's like, I guess the only other string that stretches from that length is me, the sexual being. But I'm not even comfortable with that, honestly. So um, it's really interesting because, like, I really feel connected to, like, nun monk energy. Like, I really wish, like, I think the only thing I wish I could go back and undo and wish I never had sex so I could like focus on like becoming a nun or whatever, or just not even a nun. Just focus on whatever I want to do, because sex is just so many complications. Gosh, and or just sex has been made too complicated in culture nowadays, where it's either like I don't know, it's too much, or it's just everything's fucked up with sex nowadays, aren't isn't it? So who cares? It's like just don't get AIDS at this point, and don't get pregnant accidentally, so you don't have to get abortion. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. So, yeah, I think that's about it for me.